transplant warrior in the waiting here. Well, I put on a little makeup, I put in a little hair, so pull up a chair because I am ready to share. So, for Warrior Wisdom Wednesdays, sharing stuff that we've learned along this journey with my mom having brain surgery, multiple heart surgeries, cancer, strokes, seizures, me Crohn's, gastroparesis. You get the deal. We've been through a lot. So we're just trying to pass on some things we have learned. So one thing I would highly recommend, again, not a doctor, everything I recommend is only from my experience. Never not go with your gut, no matter what the test says, no matter what the doctors say. If your gut feeling is something's wrong or something else is going on, stick to it. I can't tell you how many times I have had doctors tell me straight to my face, you're a hypochondriac. You are not accepting your mom after brain surgery. This is just the new mom. When it turned out, no, I was right. That particular time, they did a heart cath and found that her carotid artery was twisted underneath another one, and she was only at most getting 5% of clean blood back to the brain to heal from brain aneurysms. So it's a good thing I stayed on it with my gut feeling. And then a couple years later, same scenario with the other carotid artery. The surgeon was like, "Oh, you do it. You go to your bowling tournament, and I'll go to my charity in Africa, and we'll do it when I get back." And she went and had a stroke and a seizure. So I had learned, listen to my gut. Also, I'll give you another good example. My mom, she was scheduled for back surgery. I sat there when the surgeon said, if she does not have back surgery, she will end up in a wheelchair or completely strung out on pain pills because the words were, shattered discs don't grow back. They're shattered. That's it. You got to have these big rods and these big screws, right? So we got all ready for surgery. Mom did pre-op. I left to go have breakfast. I got a call, come back. She checked herself out. I, as a caregiver, was so mad because I was worried about her. I didn't want her to suffer. And so then I didn't know what this would mean. So I picked her up. First thing my mom said to me, Tabitha, I felt God tell me no. In my spirit, I did not have peace about it. Her gut feeling told her no. 2 weeks later, we found that she had 3 brain aneurysms. 2 were so big they had formed together and was already seeping blood. Once that would have bursted, the blood would have hit the brain, she would have died. And the surgeon told me, the brain surgeon said if she had gone under for back surgery, she never would have woke up. And let me tell you this, they also told us, oh, she'd have 1 to 3 year life expectancy. This year makes 22 years. In addition to that, 22 years, she is not in a wheelchair. She is not on a walker. I am for my falls and my vestibular and walking in the walls. I'm like drunk without drinking. But yeah, I'm on a walker and she's not. So she listened to her gut, and it not only saved her from an excruciating, painful surgery, but it saved her life. My Ramsay Hunt syndrome. I can't tell you how misdiagnosed I was for so many years. I even had doctors tell me I was getting ready to have sinus surgery, like, you cannot have shingles in the same spot and more than once. That don't happen. Like I would make that up. Who wants shingles? If anybody's had them, they would tell you nobody wants that beast. So I even had to go all the way, an hour away to show them and prove them. And the girl walked in, didn't even get close to me, goes, "Oh yeah, that's shingles. You got shingles in your ear." No kidding, really. That's why I tell you, I take pictures and document everything. You wouldn't believe how much that will save you in misdiagnosis. Boom, time, date, and stamp. This is what I'm dealing with. But I knew in my gut something was wrong. I even went to a neurologist and said, is this Ramsay Hunt? Because it was the only thing I could find that had reoccurring shingles. But I had such weird symptoms. I, again, didn't have everything textbook. So I saw the PA, not the actual neurologist. And he was like, no, you absolutely do not have it. That's not a possibility. Okay, well then what do I got? Why is this happening? Why is it reoccurring in my ear? What's going on? So I'm sitting out in the waiting room ready to check out, and I had Coca-Cola cans sitting on my eyes because one of the bigger problems that I have with it is it gives me electric shocks like from behind my eyeballs, and they're like on fire, so I'm always putting the ice on them. Ice, ice, baby. That song is so me. I ice every day, everywhere, it seems like. When the other neurologist, the actual neurologist, saw me and I overheard him ask the PA, why is that girl sitting there with Coca-Cola cans on her eyes? And he explained what was going on. I heard him. He said, go ask her these 4 questions. He come back, asked me, I answered, and he come back and goes, and I didn't get to hear their full response. And he come back and he goes, I'm sorry, I was wrong. You do have Ramsay Hunt syndrome. We want to send you up to the university. It was like, really? Why'd I have to get all this shaming? Why'd we have to go through all that? You know what I mean? So again, pictures help. So you listen to your gut. I had them so many times telling me, and I was in my 20s when mom was having strokes. So I would go to like Stroke Smart magazines to read articles to see if they would line up. I would read Neurology Now. What I would do is always go to find organizations or magazine that matched the illness we were battling. And then that way I could get a gauge as to what, now we have Facebook and support groups. That's even amazing. But I could get a gauge what patients were dealing with. So then I could go by my gut of, okay, now I have more of a line of, no, something's not right here, or I'm seeing this pattern, or because I didn't understand mini strokes back then, and hers were nothing like textbook. My mom's mini strokes were more like she was having a party and nobody was invited to. She would be slurring and she'd be wobbling, dancing. We'd be going down the road and she'd start doing the swim. And I was like, what you doing over there, Mama? So hers weren't like what you would picture in your mind a stroke would be like. So it took a long time to figure out, oh my goodness, she's having mini strokes. But by listening to my gut and staying on it, and okay, this doctor don't believe me, let's go find another doctor. Okay. And that doesn't mean I'm always right or that I knew everything. It just means listen to your gut. My gut kept telling me something's wrong, and I was right. Something was wrong, and it saved my mom's life. My mom's gut kept telling her, this ain't right. I don't need to do this, and it saved her life. So listen to your gut. I know it gets so crazy and that flight and fright is running through our bodies. So sometimes I don't even know what my gut is saying. But once you slow down and you kind of take a prayer and take a breath, you will know what your gut is saying. I promise you, it will be the loudest thing screaming when you're dealing with medical, because it'll be like, something ain't right here. You've been sick too long. You've been feeling a headache every day for 2 years. That's not normal. You shouldn't be vomiting every day. You should be getting blood return on a PICC line. They're just tricky. Nope, that's not true. If it ain't flowing, you need to get to going. And that means get going to an ER or to a PICC team to let them troubleshoot it. Yeah, we've got to break some of these narratives, and we got to be able to work together, Battle Buddies. And I need your help in sharing that stuff. The more we share our wisdom and what we've been through, then the less medical errors we will have. Medical errors is still beating cancer. Think right now, take a second and look in your whole circle of friends and family, and don't tell me you ain't been touched by cancer, So think about that. Medical errors is still killing people more than cancer. We just don't talk about it. So let's talk about it. Listen to your gut. Then we can get rid of some of these medical errors. Sometimes you feel like, well, I don't want to make a ruckus. I don't want them to be mean. Well, they're going to go home at night while you suffer. It's like these capping of IVs and capping PICC lines. They're like, oh, you'll be fine. It's no big deal. Yeah, because you'll go home when I'll have an infection that could go to my heart and kill me or make me paralyzed. No, listen to your gut. It's okay. You have the right to get fair treatment. You have the right to be sick, and you have the right to listen to your gut. So that's my warrior wisdom. Always listen to your gut. Hope y'all have a blessed day. Please check out my QR code for my GoFundMe for my transplants, because we found out we're going to be responsible for 20%. That could be up in the hundreds of thousands. So any help would be greatly, even if you could just share. That's helping me, because I am so isolated, first being a caregiver and now being a patient and a transplant patient. I really have to be isolated because I have to match with my donor my antibodies. So every infection makes me start all over again. So yeah, please share. Like the subscribe button and everything. That would so help me. Y'all have a blessed day.